with the commish, Nate.
Hey now, what's up everybody? Welcome to OMFL Bowl number 113. I welcome you in. Let me get my buddies in here. Mr. D-Wayne's not here yet, but he says he's going to be here, so hopefully work does not keep him from being here. Maniac is technically in here. We haven't heard a peep from him. And we got our guy Big Hurt, who's always willing and ready to talk with me here on mic. Mr. Fellas, how we doing today?
Doing well. Ready for some action. OMFL here.
Maniac,
doing marvelous.
Oh, there he is. Sounding spry and healthy. Are we turning the corner?
I'm hoping and praying, man. So, but I do feel better, and I actually feel like doing something, man. So.
Good. That's I thought that was not the end of that statement, so I paused for a minute. Let me tag D-Wayne. I have let him know.
Maniac coming up with these short and sweet statements. We're not used to that.
I know. We'll have to see if we can keep that up. Ravens, Bears, fellas. I'm going to go ahead and put up the screen. That way we can see it. I am on Colin's screen right now. 10-7 Chicago Bears and Colin, the Cinderella story of season 113 against the Baltimore Ravens and a plugged-in Nipples, ones that we've talked about for several cycles. We finally have seen him this one sitting there with a powerhouse of a team. Big Hurt, how do you see this one breaking out?
Well, I mean, I think that the second half of the season, Chicago really found their stride. Since week 10, he has only one loss, and that was in week 17 to Carolina. So I think this is going to be a matchup that we like to see with Colin's high-flying offense. He's got the number 3 offense according to Neon Sport, and we all know Colin can air it out to the best of anybody. But then on the flip side of things, he's playing right into the strength of a defense in Nipple, who can really play at a high level with the user and corner. And the way Nipple's built that team, he's got a pretty high-flying or high overall lock it down, no-fly zone type of DB. So I think this will be a fun matchup. Kind of the tail of the tapes for the playoffs, in my opinion, has been turnovers. Colin played well through the NFC side of things, so if he can keep that up, I think that'll be the difference maker for him.
Does this shock you that Colin has the better overall team, 95, 96, Nipples 91, 89, 95? That was a bit of a shocker to me. I knew that Colin was building a good team. Did not realize he had built an amazing team. Maniac, what do you think?
Yeah, Colin just like quietly put together this spectacular team from the 2 seasons that, we were kind of on here saying, like, where's Colin at? Colin usually by now is like making a move, and we didn't really even see it early on in this season, and all of a sudden, like Hurt said, like week 10, I think he played me and like just absolutely destroyed me, and that's when I knew like Colin's here, and he's just been like on another level. And Nips, I mean, he's been plugged in, and he's had some kind of crazy games also as well. I look at the matchup, so man, his cornerbacks there for the Ravens. A 99, a 99, a 92, and an 83 for his top 3 corners. And his top 2 are 99 speed, 99 acceleration, 96, and 98 acceleration. And then his third string's 91 and 96 acceleration. So, and then you look at how that matches up with the Bears roster. He's also got probably the 3 of the top wide receivers as well. He's got a 99, a Dunez. And then he's fast, also really quick off the line of scrimmage. Then he's got Watts that's really fast and quick off the line of scrimmage, the 96 and a 99 overall. And then you got your slot guy Moore as a 93 overall, which is he's also got good speed and good catching and stuff. So this is just going to be a matchup. I think that's where we're going to see the difference maker. Whoever's squad at those positions does better in this game, I think is going to go a long ways to see who wins this game.
This game has 299 overall quarterbacks and 299 overall cornerbacks. Now we know Nipples, he'll use that cornerback a lot. Colin's going to move around, play a little bit of everywhere. What do you see the winning defense being able to do in this game?
For me, it's like whoever can get the most turnovers, and we've seen both guys have games where they've kind of fell off the wagon on the turnover position, but then also seen both guys take care of the ball really well. And so whoever I think it's kind of like from speaking from experience too, like here in the bowl game, seemed like the first mistake you make, whoever makes the first mistake, it kind of tends to get in your mind, and then unless you can get over it, then it's going to be something that's going to haunt you probably the rest of the game, and you're going to have second guesses, and so. But I really think like whoever gets the first turnover, you're going to see the momentum kind of switch to that side, and it may be kind of hard for it to get back on the other side in this game.
One stat that I'd like to point out, I think looking at this as well, I think both quarterbacks not only are like really good passing and the way these two owners have had success so far this season, but they're both agile enough and mobile enough to get loose on the scrambles. But I look at the statistic in according to Neon Sports, is where I'm pulling the numbers from, but Caleb Williams, in 13 games played, it looks like he had 18 rushes for only 20 yards, none over 20 yards. Then you go to the nipple, and Lamar Jackson in 17 games, he had, let's set this up, he has 32 rushes for 255 yards, and he has 4 runs over 20. I think both defenses have defensive lines that can get after the quarterback. The secondaries are going to play strong, but I think it's going to come down to minimizing the mistakes, but also something that D. Wayne stated, and I think when somebody beat the Chargers, I think it was, in the playoffs, but they established, or no, I think it was actually Colin playing against the Niners. He established a run game. He established something that kind of allows him to not just become one-dimensional. And so I think if Colin can have success running the ball, whether it's, I'm not talking 100, 150 yards, but just be efficient enough to move chains and not be just strictly one-dimensional. I think that is going to be the key for his success. And then the flip side is Nipple is not turning the ball over and maybe utilizing Lamar's legs a little bit in the run game.
Speaking of D. Wayne, the man himself has joined us. Welcome, D. Wayne. You played the Chicago Bears. What are you expecting to see from them as we move into OMFL Bowl number 113?
I think I can kind of compound off what Hurt said. I think the Bears have to, establish the run early. I think he has to control himself and not get too carried away with, that elite passing game, which, he showed off all playoffs and all season. And I think if he sticks to conservative is not a good word, and that's never a word I would use to describe Colin. I would even say just a little more timid passing game and kind of don't play to Baltimore's strengths, which is his secondary and his, using that cornerback or either cornerback, either side he does, and shut down the side of the field. At the snap, I would find Nipples and I would go the opposite way. Or at the very least, I would take a sack or throw it away before I forced it to that user. I think if he establishes the run and then gets the play action going, I think that's how he'll get Nipples. I think if he gets Nipples biting up on a few, play action stuff, just getting a little more aggressive, that's how he's going to get his deep shots. I don't think he can straight up attack Nipples as a cornerback. I think he's got to get him on his toes, or I guess you say on his heels, to where he doesn't really know what's going on. And to do that, he's got to establish the running game.
Well, boys, it is here. Ravens, Bears at the load screen. And this is going to be the first time that we have this Madden been able to do the share screen. Let's go ahead and get ready for this one.
Let's go.
There's some really cool stuff that you can do with the share screen. I got a little pointer. I can draw little things on here. We can highlight stuff. Like, this is my own little, what do they call those little monitors that they have in the NFL when they're showing, like, circling players and drawing things? Yeah, one of those. Good point. All right, guys, here we go. Ravens, Bears. Let's see. It looks like the Ravens going to be kicking off, so they'll get the ball in the second half. We're going to see that Bears offense to start this one off, and this game is underway. Out of the back of the end zone, we're just going to make this a conversation. We're going to sort of go Madden cast with this one. You guys jump in and talk when you want to talk. We're going to talk on top of one another because we can't see each other, but it's going to be a good time. We're going to have fun. I'm going to sit here and play with this pointer. I'm going to be highlighting some stuff, drawing things all over the screen. It's going to be fun.
Sounds awesome. This should be a hell of a matchup. There goes your pointy thing. Oh, that's like real deal, like NFL broadcasting.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
We got Madden, and he's got John Madden over here, and we're good.
Man, we got Swift off the left side using the, I don't even know what camera you called that, the anus camera, able to find the hole, go off to the left side. Dwayne, this is something that Chicago did against you that most teams can't. That's run the ball. What made him so successful?
I think exactly that. He didn't, I always like to say I keep it simple. I like to go, north to south. I don't like to go east and west very well. But he kept me on my toes by that counter runs like that, kind of keeping me guessing. And if you've watched him all season, Colin has used that. He goes between, if he's passing, he'll back that camera off. I'm glad we got a good delay, on our streams, but he backs the camera off to pass and he zooms it up to run like this. And it's really paid off. He's ran a lot better since he started zooming in. And I guess it helps him run like this.
Swift off the right side, 2 big plays, 2 gashings of that Baltimore defense. One thing about Baltimore, Maniac, you've played in the AFC. I don't know how many matchups you've had against him. He won't change. He's going to stick to the bread and butter of what he does, and if you beat him, so be it. Great insight from Maniac.
I think we got a new name for that camera, though. It's up the anus.
I don't know what else you would call that, but any closer, I can go ahead and give him a colonoscopy. Now we're zooming way out. We're sitting up in the nosebleeds. That's the only tickets we can afford here in the OMFL. Another little gash. 3 runs, 2 first downs, and another 5 yards. He's really establishing this run.
Which is exactly what he's got to do. If he wants to play against Nipples, you can't feed into that elite secondary he's got, kind of like Bronco Man fell into the last game.
Very
I think
point.
If he sticks to this, is a recipe for success.
Very good point by you. I think you want to watch on Dunze right here. He's going to try to hit up that fly right there.
My bad. I didn't know I was on mute.
I was wondering why you were so quiet.
All right. Listen, every time I hear, oh no, a pick to Wooten off to the left side. He forced it. We might have a pick 6 here, boys.
Man, you hate that. That's exactly what he didn't need to happen.
That is a tough play for Chicago, but that is exactly what Baltimore does really well.
No, it's exactly right. This is huge to me for Colin. I would love to see Colin. I don't know if you can stop him 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row. I would love to see him get a stop here. I don't want to see. That's tough. Man, that's an awful way.
That's definitely the start that Nipper wants is to get his defense, make a big play, get up a 7-point lead, and then really, I think with Nipple the way he plays, he's used Copeland so well this year, his receiver, but at the same time, I think it's really, if he could ask, he would rather put the pressure and play defense and kind of put the stranglehold on people because he plays at such a high level with that corner. So as teams get into the passing situation, then I feel like he's you're playing right into his hands.
I would also say it was an unneeded turnover. He sort of had a couple of reads, got to that last read, and just forced. It's like you said it, Dwayne, early in this one. Just take the sack.
Yeah, just take it. I think Hurt hit on the point with talking about nipples. He's such a good secondary. If he gets ahead, you play right into what he wants, and that's passing the ball. And Colin, as early as this is, we're only a minute into this game. This is just huge for him to not fall into that. I have to pass. I'm behind. Nipples likes to run the ball. He is great when he can run the ball and take shots out of play action. This is really key. As early as this is really key for Colin to stick to his game plan here.
Maniac, we got sidetracked with the interception. Every time I hear somebody say that, I'm like, so did you just think we were ignoring you just for 5 minutes? You just thought, oh, yeah, these guys are just not going to listen to me?
Yeah, I mean, I actually, whenever you asked me that question, and I kind of like repeated what you said, and you kind of cut me off in my eyes, and I was like, oh wow, I was like, okay, I didn't finish my sentence, but that's fine,
Duze off to the left. I'm not meaning to cut you off again this time, but the Bears strike it back with a touchdown.
Huge.
Wow. That's a big play.
That's what she said.
That's a huge response for Colin.
Oh, it is. He needed that for his own confidence. Maybe get it back on track to where he don't stray too far. I've talked to both of these guys this week, and I try not to take a side, obviously, in these games, but you got to tell Colin he just got to stick to that game plan. I know he wants to air it out. He wants to set records with the passing game, but he's got to stick to the game plan against Nipple.
Also, it was a gutsy throw. Like, that was a throw with anticipation. And you got to have balls. You already threw a pick six, or almost a pick six, and you're coming right back hoping that you get that one past him. It worked out.
Uh-oh.
I think that's the thing with Colin, though, is Colin is kind of ride or die in his passing game just because he knows, like, he's gonna throw for 300, and he might have a 4-touchdown, no-pick game, or he might have 200 and 300 yards, but have 3 touchdowns and 3 or 4 picks. He kind of rides or dies by that. And I think at some point, you almost have to just take those wins and losses to get to this point. If you're going to play that type of style, you have to, just ride or die by it. But at the same time, as we talked pregame, you can't go too much into that. You still have to be a little bit of balance, which he's done and had a little bit of success.
Might have our double pass here. Nope. That's going to go to Mitchell. Now, Maniac, the question we asked 13 minutes and 45 seconds ago that you were muted for, you've played in the AFC. I don't know how many matchups you've had with Nipples, but what makes that defense so tough?
He just, like one of the things you're talking about, he doesn't change. He sticks to his game plan, and he forces you, just to either make a good decision, eat it, or you're gonna make a bad decision. And if you can limit the mistakes, then you can have success against him. But if you start making the mistakes and compound it and stuff, it gets to you really quick, and the next thing you know, you're falling behind and pressing. And I will say though, like one of the things I like for his Collins matchup to against the Ravens, his offensive line is across the board tremendously good, and the Ravens front four is not very good except for like his defensive tackle. So if he can utilize that as something that he can kind of expose, I think, through the run game, that could be something that causes Nipple to either maybe shift down and use a D-line. I haven't seen it a whole lot. He has done it a few times against me, especially if I started gashing him a lot with running. But that could be something that we can keep an eye on as this game progresses.
Against Nipples, it's always a good thing to eat it. Let's see if Chicago can actually make that happen, though. Ooh, we got a sack of fumble, boys. Chicago's on it. We got a turnover.
Nate, did you see Colin's message to you?
Oh, I did not.
He just said he's seeing, I think your clicking thing is popping up on his screen also. He said, I'm just seeing Astros.
My bad, Colin. I forgot there was share screening. Well, it looks like the cool thing that I thought we were going to get to use and play with, we may not be able to. I was trying to highlight players to keep an eye on pre-play, but I ain't trying to mess Colin up. So that sucks because that would have been a cool little feature to play with there. They're reversing it, but it's still going to force the punt.
A good stop there.
It's amazing how quickly these games turn. Like less than 4 minutes ago, y'all, we watched Colin throw almost a pick six, quick score. And then within a couple of minutes, he's not only scored right back, but he's got the ball back.
It happens so quick in these games, especially with these two dynamic owners like this. It just, like I said, the margins are so slim for error here. It's kind of that team that just gets more breaks. And like I said, you had to have Colin react, to that turnover, and so far he's reacted, I guess, as positively as you could.
If he starts losing again, though, I'm going back to using my pointer, because when I start using my pointer, he got back in this game. So
there's a few owners I think that you can put in the category where you get down by a score or two, and it's like that doesn't matter to them. They can quickly strike. Colin is one of them. I think D-Money, at times can do that. But
all three guys on this podcast, not named Nate.
This Madden's a little bit different for me. But I just think there's a certain handful of guys that just are such elite offensive guys, and they get that turnover and they just score so quick, and it's like those things can snowball so fast, and if you just don't control them and don't let that snowball turn into an avalanche, then it just wipes you out so quick. And
get down.
Williams diving instead of sliding. Whoops. We hit the wrong button there. That could have been danger alert. Danger, Mr. Robinson. At halftime, I'm going to want a 10-second thought from each of you, so go ahead and have that prepared at halftime. I like how Maniac laughed about that. What's up, Bird? I didn't get to say what's up to all the guys in the chat. Lost, Priest, Bronco Man, Bill, Bird, Johnny, Logan, Daniel. What's up, everybody? That's a fumble. That's a fumble. They're going to review that. That looked like a fumble to me, y'all.
I'm calling
it. It looked like his forearm might have hit the ground too, but yeah, that'll be interesting. There.
Oh, they flipped it. It looked like a fumble to me.
Tell you what, these guys are playing really loose the ball to start this game.
Little Koch. What's up, buddy?
Akron.
I don't know why, but it made me laugh. The crowd had one person take a picture. I'm like, just one guy in the crowd took a picture. That's it.
Flash.
Curious to see in your guys' thoughts of just as an early kind of pick. I know we're towards the end of the first quarter, but who do you guys think that key X factor player is for both teams?
That's tough. Honestly, the Bears, that receiver he's got is ridiculous, and can make some ridiculous plays.
Oh,
but I think
no. That ball's going back to Chicago.
That's awful.
I hope he kind of punts it. I'm not going to lie. Is that weird? When you accidentally don't punt it strong enough, but there's nothing anybody can do. I hope he punts it back. I mean, what's up, Kev? Technically, I guess he doesn't have to, but I hope both guys play cool. And
Colin's asking in our chat.
I just said I think so. I mean, if it would have been like a legit, he caught it, he got hit, he caught it and fumbled. But that's one of those weird, like you have no control over it.
That's one of those situations where you just got maddened.
Yeah. I've seen it a couple times, and everybody that I've seen so far has been pretty cool about it. Just like, it just sucks, but technically, Colin's going to get a better punt out of this instead of like a 15-yard punt. He's going to get a legit punt out of it.
You know what they call
Especially
that? EA Sports. It's in the game.
Oh, he's he's booting that one back to Chicago. I think it's only a matter of time before we see Copeland make a play here. I know I can't use my little pointer, but I'm really upset about this pointer. I like the whole concept of having that, but I ain't trying to mess Colin up, have him blaming me for his loss. But I think it's just a matter of time before Nipples challenges him.
I think they send some feedback to PlayStation about that, saying, hey, make it to where it's not showing on the person that's sharing, but on my screen. Yeah, we've already seen, too, like the matchup here. I talked about the Bears' offensive line. The Ravens don't have a great offensive line either, and most of, I think, the Bears' front four, they're all like in their 90s, and so that could be a big difference. And we already seen them cause a fumble so far this game, because that could play into a factor. Because I know Nips, he likes to run the ball, he likes to control it, and then just all of a sudden start hitting you on the big plays when he starts kind of drawing you up, stopping that run, and he has force-fed Copeland. That's kind of funny too, because both these guys have built receivers that they have force-fed over the last couple of seasons. So, but they're monsters.
Now, Wayne and Maniac, wasn't but 2 seasons ago. You guys are playing each other in the bowl game. What are you thinking this time of the game? How you feeling about how the flow of the game is? Just kind of talk through sort of the mindset and the emotions when you get in these last games of the season.
Honestly, I think it's at this point, like, in the first quarter, 7-7, you've kind of had some fluky plays back and forth. You're kind of hoping to kind of shake that tightness that you get when you start these OMFL Bowls like that, or playoffs in general. You're hoping you shake some of that tightness, you can kind of get in a groove. Or on the other side of that, you're hoping that Maniac messes up, and then it really eases the tightness off of you. If he can give you a pick, or like to start the game with the Ravens, there's no better way to start that. You kind of really lose that tightness when you get, I ain't gonna say something given to him, but you get an easy 7 points, something easy fed to you. Like they say, you need to make a layup or two before you start shooting 3-pointers, because it gets you in a rhythm. And I think that's my way to look at it, is I need something to get that tightness out. And right now, you thought Nipples would have did that, but Colin has fought back and really put him in a, kind of put him on his own back right now.
Yeah, one of the things, like whenever I was playing Dwayne, like I want to come in. Obviously, I had a game plan. I had tried to execute it, and then some of the things I was really good at during the season, all of a sudden, they weren't working in that game against him and stuff. So when that happens, you start going like, oh no, what am I going to do now? I don't want to really start just bombing the ball down the field or whatever, because that's not my style and that's not what I'm used to, and then the next thing you know, things start sliding the wrong way, and you just you can't recover, and then it all comes back down. You start questioning, like, if I could have ran the ball, if I could have got those easy 3rd and 1s that he was breaking through the offensive line and stopping me in the backfield, those type of things. What could have happened? Maybe I could have had 3 points on that drive, or I could have had possibly another chance for a touchdown. And so all those plays start kind of playing a factor in the overall of the game, and you can go back and wish I coulda, shoulda, type of deal. And but again, it's just the way it is. The game of inches. He had studied me, and he knew the kind of plays I like to play on certain downs, and like I said, especially those short yardage. He stopped me, and that was where I was really good in that. Especially that first season, the short yardage situations and stuff, I was able just to keep the chains moving, control the clock, and just kind of have my way throughout the entire season until that bowl game. And then it just, kind of disappeared for me. And Yeah, I did kind of come back a little bit and make a little bit of a game of it, but still, again, it got me completely out of my comfort zone, and it took me 2 quarters at least to kind of get the rust or get the rattle shake off and actually be able to really kind of compete again.
Got a 7-7 game here to start the second quarter. You guys are watching the OMFL's Bowl game for season 113. OMFL, the world's oldest and longest online Madden CFM in the world. Started in 2001 as a PC league, still going strong today. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to reach down there, fellas, and hit that like button. If you're an adult looking for a gaming community, check out Grown Folks, the details to our Discord. A lot of D's in the Discord and in that sentence there. It is all down in the details. Click that and come join us. In here, we got Mr. Maniac of the Buffalo Bills, Mr. D. Wayne of the Dallas Cowboys, and Mr. Big Hurt of the Minnesota Vikings hanging out with you, commentating OMFL Bowl 113. There's Copeland getting a couple big passes. I've been really impressed with, Jackson's ability. Of course, he's so talented and quick and fast. I don't think Nipples definitely does not abuse, but doesn't use those legs enough. But you're seeing that early here, get out of the pocket, and he just throws money throws to his right, to his left. Doesn't really matter. He's got the ability to throw it on the run.
I think you're exactly right. I think in the hands of other people, Jackson might be used a lot more. Nipple has always been pretty conservative, using Jackson the way that he really is used in real life. But I do think this is kind of out of the box, but pretty neat seeing how he is using his legs and kind of getting that Bears defense shifting around a little bit.
I know guys, well, one of the guys, the last guy is in this chat right now, Mr. Maniac, put in for a one-click switch. And that play right there, it's not anything that's going to be on the stat book, won't make the highlights, but it was a first down. Those kind of plays, when we allow even a one switch, will probably go away. With as much push as we've had the last 2 cycles to add back in a switch, I could probably see it happening in the next cycle or 2, but again, that's one of the things I do like about no switches. Every play is still on the table. You can run just about anything. We're seeing the Ravens get a little run game established here, fellas.
Well, that goes right up Nipples' alley. I think he would love to get this running game established and be able to use that play action, kind of like he has with Lamar, get outside on a rollout or something like that, and just so many options on the table for him.
Yeah, he's kind of got Colin a little bit off right now, I think, on defense. You see on that play where he ran the ball, Colin called that cover 3 type defense. I think he was anticipating possibly a pass there, and again, it just 5 yards easy up the middle.
Big Hurt, you have a championship trophy over on the shelf. You're the Baltimore Ravens. You're responding with a good drive. Do you feel like you got to leave this drive with a touchdown?
I mean, it's tough because, with Colin as my opponent, I just feel like anytime you're not scoring a touchdown, that's, not really a win on the drive, just because that's a guy that can score 30, 40 points at any given game. But at the same time, if you're Nips, I feel like any type of points, as I mentioned earlier, you're kind of putting pressure in on your opponent. And if you're gaining just any type of points, that's putting pressure on that team. And then, a guy like Colin starts passing the ball, he's playing right into your hands, he's in what you want him to do. So I think it's kind of a twofold question or answer here for you. I think any points in Nipple's eyes, he feels confident. But in Colin's eyes, if I can just do anything but give up a touchdown, I think I'm good. You know what I mean? So
that's right.
It's kind of a double answer question in their answer in that point, but I feel like both guys have different mindsets there.
We've seen Chicago build such a good defensive line too. This is when you start you run out of grass here in the 10-yard line and in, you just are limited on what kind of plays you can run.
Well, I think it kind of plays with what Hurt just said. You want to hold them to 3 here, at least 3. You would love to see enforced turnover, but guys are only going to settle for 3 for so long before they are going to kind of get out of their little box, and they're going to start forcing stuff in the red zone. some people are more aggressive than others. I'm one. I'll settle for field goals for a little while until I can't settle for them. There's a lot of guys here that get in this, inside this 10, and they just can't stand it. They're going to try to force a throw. And if you're calling here, you don't want to give up anything easy. You want him to throw the ball here and give you a chance.
Dangerous throw there from Jackson. He also equally had him. Colin could have made a play. They're going to have to settle for 3 points.
Well, what do y'all think about the way Colin has changed who he's using? And I've seen him use their defensive line. I've seen him use the linebacker. Coming from y'all, I know I don't really use anybody but the middle linebacker. I've seen all of y'all play different positions before. How do y'all lean in situations like that on who you're going to use her?
That's a great question. And I think for me, I like the ability to not know where the player is going to be, right, when they're switching positions. I don't play the D-line nearly as much as I should because I just feel like unless you get insta-shed, you're out of the play and there's nothing you can do. On the other side, man, an amazing middle linebacker like you can just shut everything down. They can shut your run game down. They can shut your pass game down. And I've even seen you, even when you're tricked on the play actions, you're so quick. You got such a good athletic player. You can recover back into the pass game pretty easy. And so gives you the ability to sort of guess or cheat for the run, but be able to get back for the pass. And that's so disruptive.
Yeah,
that play right there, y'all. Can I just vent for a second? This game does not ever call pass. That's a pass interference all day long. That's at least defensive holding. Like, my God, Madden, why can't we figure this out?
That's probably one of those things though. They'd be all like, "I didn't bump him all that much though."
Bro, that kind of stuff right there, just that makes me want to lose it.
The bad thing is when it's a user and you see them like they're kind of like doing all that little shuffle in front of them, blocks them and stuff. And that's usually when I man, that's blatant pass interference. But I'm like when the usering stuff, like I try to just mix it up so that way I'm not just getting complacent with just one position, but also like if I start getting gashed like a certain play or certain formation and they seem like they're running a lot to the left or the right, I'll try to maybe switch it up and use the D tackle on that side or the D end. Sometimes I will do that just for the simple fact that I like Shepard, for instance, and that side. If I have a certain coverage like picked up on that side that I've called, then I'll go and I'll purposely like play the guy on the opposite side because I want them to try to force the ball over to that side. And that's one of the reasons why Shepard, was one of the leader in interceptions this season. So I would like take my chances, through either scouting or just, picking up on a play here and there that I know the guys like to run in certain situations. And I'll be like, okay, well, when they hike the ball, they're going to see me over here, but I'm hoping he throws it over there or runs it over there. And then that's what they do. And I'm like, all right, they kind of played into my scheme or whatever. But, that's a little deep, but it's not all the time, but there is some times where I'll do that. But I do it mostly just so I don't get complacent, just with a linebacker or DN, whatever. I want to kind of learn how to control each player because just say, for instance, like Colin, he'd be taking the top off every time, he turn around and stuff, so I need to play safety probably a lot, and try to take away some of those throws that gets over the top on.
Mr. Hurt, I want to hear about you, but I also want to remind you, your boy Maniac's warmed up now. Those vocal cords are good and warm.
Woo!
Yeah, I was over here checking on my son and the dog and came back and he was still going, so I was like, all right, we're good. Yeah, I don't even remember what the question is, to be honest.
Where do you play on defense? Do you like to stick to one? Do you like to move around? Oh, we got a fumble. That one's not going to be reviewed. That's Chicago.
Oh, yeah, yep. So defensively, I think it's, for me, like what I kind of try and do is, one, trying to do a little bit of scouting on my opponent, and knowing kind of what they lean on in certain situations, or who they like to go to, and just know that really trying to eliminate the one guy in certain situations. Like if I know I'm playing somebody that just is going to feed one receiver or a second receiver type of deal, and really focus on that, then I might put, like for me, I got put Dylan Marshall on one and then really focus on the other with myself. Or like if it's a heavy run, I'll kind of like stack the box, but then me play the pass type of thing. Or, vice versa, me play the run and let the defense play the pass. I just try and mix it up so guys aren't like, oh, he's going to play this in this or he's going to, and vice versa. Offense, he's going to run this play in this situation. I don't want to be predictable, but at the same time, I want to try and do what I can to take a certain thing away that I know that they're probably going to lean on more than something else. So I don't particularly like playing D-line, even when you're successful at it. I just feel grimy by doing it. That's just me.
Me too.
Particularly, but I think linebacker, corner, safety really just depends on, the situation and who I'm playing.
And I think every single one of you who do it is a cheesy cheese ball. Just joking, of course. A couple of questions for you guys as we keep watching Chicago answering right here. Trailer off the right side. He needs an answer here. This has been a good classic heavyweight battle. Nothing super duper crazy. Couple turnovers. It's been fun with all of you guys. I have seen a rise in this direct halfback run. So sort of a twofold question, because Dwayne, you sort of set the standard of running out of the shotgun. I don't know what has made you so great at it, but you are very good at it. When do you guys decide, or what's the mindset behind, all right, I want to run this one out of the shotgun. It's something I still don't do well. And then the direct halfback snap, like, I don't know, it just feels uber, like shotgun runs already feel a little cheesy, at least leaning to the Velveeta side. Direct halfback snaps just feel like instant 8 yards, and I just freaking hate the things. What are our thoughts on what's the mindset behind when we run out of the shotgun, and any thoughts around direct halfback snaps?
On my side of it, I do think you're a rule about the 3rd and 4? You can't run out of shotgun or something like of that nature. I think that eliminates a lot of your worst side of it, I guess you say.
Right.
I still lean more towards a shotgun run on any kind of just, it's second long, third long, or if I have a guaranteed 3 and I know that, hey, I might get lucky here and get 14 yards running the ball, or if I get stopped for 10, I'm going to kick a field goal. It's almost more of a conservative thing to me.
Gotcha.
Or you get stacked on first down at 2nd and 19. Hey, I want to try to get 7, 8, 9 yards back, or something of that nature. The halfback direct one, I haven't yet to run that, but ever since it got brought to attention, I think I've seen it on about 8 or 10 teams here get ran a lot. And
it will be in my playbook. I tell y'all that right now.
It's very effective from what I've seen so far. So I'd be interested to see how much we see of it.
What a play to Watts, guys. That was a ballsy throw.
Yeah, that was a quick throw right over the back. The backer's got his head on a swivel. He could easily pick that off. The only thing I'll say about the halfback direct, from my perspective, is I feel like I group it with about one of the 5 or 6 plays that I think, in my opinion, are just very OP, high success. You're almost guaranteed the success on it, but at the same time, like, we have like the double pass, like it works.
Yeah,
we have like a couple other ones that work, like, and it just I group those plays because they like work almost 95+% of the time in my eyes. So it's like, when you run it, you're going to get the yards, and it could easily be a home run play. The only thing I'm somewhat okay with it being allowed is because we have the play cooldown and that kind of stuff, so you kind of have to like draw it up in a way to like use it a certain time, and so it's kind of like the old magician pulling the trick out of the hat. Like, you have to call it at the right time and utilize it, otherwise you kind of exit out and you can't abuse it. So I don't like it, but at the same time I'm not like totally against it. I think if we had the switch thing, kind of going back to what you said, that would negate some of those plays.
Yeah, sure.
But again, like, part of it is, calling, and that's part of like what I just said, is calling the right play at the right time, calling that trick play, or calling that play that you feel like is going to get you those yards, because it's only allowed so many times before you have to wait, whatever, how many plays it is and that type of thing. So love it, but I mean, I hate it, but not like totally against it either.
Yeah, definitely love hate for me. I mean, I've ran. I don't even know if I have it in my playbook, but I think I've ran it in the college game a couple times. But I don't think I have it here in the OMFL. But I know like some of those things, it's just, they work really well, and you just got to kind of, there is certain defenses that will slow it down, and you just got to be, on your P's and Q's, like, this guy has this in his playbook, and it could be coming at any moment, so try to get that play, in there that that kind of slow it down, or at least stop it, or maybe control the guy in the area, like say a defensive tackle or a DN that's on the running back side, and try to counter it. But that's just one of the things that you got to prepare for.
Caleb getting pushed out of bounds there.
One thing I left out, I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Well, I'm lactose intolerant, so anything that even smells like cheese, I get a little itchy and antsy and a little put out with it. Big Hurt, since you lost your thought first, I'm coming to you. Give me your 10-second thought on the first half of this game.
I think it's kind of what we thought it was going to be, a defensive battle, like teams taking chances against each other. I'm surprised how many turnovers there have been, and it hasn't like snowballed on one person yet. They kind of stay composed and then continue to like get the ball back in their momentum, and then it flips. So second half is going to see who can make the plays at the right time and finish drives. And like I said, the 3 points to 7 point difference mentality.
Dwayne, 10-second thought on the first half of this game.
I think he said a lot. I still think both guys are playing really, really tight. And I think it's going to be a huge turnover to start this third quarter. It's going to set the pace for the rest of this game.
Maniac, 10-second thought.
Turnovers. I think we're going to see some turnovers happening in the second half, so be prepared.
We got a 10-10 ball game, y'all, going into the second half of OMFL Bowl number 113. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. We got Mr. Maniac of the Bills here, Mr. Dwayne of the Cowboys, and Mr. Hurd of the Minnesota Vikings. These guys are also with me week in and week out on Press Pass Live, so make sure you like and subscribe to come be a part of the Grown Folks family. You're watching the OMFL Bowl for season 113, the world's oldest and longest online CFM. Thanks for tuning in. And we got a little delay of game. That's got to suck to come out of the second half and get delay game. That's the one, not the one. I got a list of things I hate about college football, but that weird play clock thing that happens after the possession has changed, where you got less play clock, boy, it drives me nuts.
I agree.
I think we might have a little double pass coming here.
It was coming. I could sense it.
Oh, see, that sucks. And then number 7 doesn't even attempt to dive. Like, that's the kind of play that, like, I get it. It's fair game. We all knew it was coming. But gosh darn it, when you see that as Colin, you got to switch. You got to go back.
Well, yeah, Switch Fix say, you've seen that so much. You almost, obviously, pre-snap, you try to put yourself in a position where you can defend that. I think Bronco Man actually called it earlier. He said he was just waiting for that play to get called.
And Denver's posting in the chat, cheese.
Next OMFL Bowl, we're going to take a shot anytime anything even smells like cheese. Y'all might be drunk by the end of OMFL Bowl. The OMFL playoffs, they always get a little itchy there on the FPR. Listen, it's a fair play, so we cannot take anything from nipples. If you're Colin, you got to play smarter, bro. The second, that's twice you've seen the tight end go in motion. You knew what was coming. You got to go play the safety. I just sucks. Like, you're playing quarters. You should have 2 people in that area, Both of them have gotten sucked up for no reason. And if anybody hates anything, it's getting sucked up for no reason. And then the guy chases the player down and doesn't even dive. It just sucks. There's nothing cool about that play. I mean, I will be running it in season 114. I'm just saying.
The hard part is like you play the right defense to take that away. And it's like I'm playing quarters, so like just dump it off and beat me underneath all day. Like, okay, I'll tip my hat. But like playing quarters and then you beat me over the top on a stupid play like that, it's like banging your head against the wall. Like, really, Madden? Like you know, like I don't even know how that, like, it's, I'd even say if it was like a toss, like a halfback toss pass, like, okay, at least not a toss, like you're biting on the run, but like a swing pass like that, like, that just doesn't make any sense. But again,
I didn't even notice where Colin was playing, but like the second you see that, wherever you play D-line or not, you got to sprint to that receiver out there. Like, you got to do whatever you got to do. Hell, I'm even switching, picking it off, and then punting it right back, saying "oopsie." Like, I don't care. I'm not giving you that cheesy play, man. I will also say, Board, I am all for banning that play if y'all want to ban that play, but we haven't banned too many plays here lately. Boy, that has woken this chat up. I tell you right now, they are awake now. Ooh, what a big shot there! Keep forgetting you're 18 seconds behind me.
That play that he had there to the wide receiver, if he had kept his feet, man, he probably would have scored.
So I was just saying, Logan, I'm here for the Diddy party after with the winner.
Hey, we will get you guys a jumbo size baby oil and let y'all go at it. Enjoy yourselves.
My goodness.
Oh, he's got him.
I'll never look at baby oil again.
Little Troutman signing, a little ex-Saint right there.
And that, folks, is why we call ourselves the grown folks. No kids allowed.
Hey, listen, you guys were talking about, sucking it up from behind, and you were
the one that had brought up the anus, and then you went right up the hole.
Hey,
like
up the
that,
colon.
You followed.
The very medical term.
And since we're bringing up these issues,
Bears
Nate's
are
always talking about kicking kittens and stuff, and I kind of repeated it. And man, I got in trouble from Dwayne and his wife and everything when I was like,
"Oh yeah, you gotta watch Mrs. Dwayne. She'll get on you. She will
all
get
about
on
the
you."
cats now.
Mrs. Dwayne does not pull punches.
I still can't get over. You said up the anus camera. He went right up the hole. Like, wow.
I mean, it's very close. I can just say, you will see some stains back there. That thing is so close.
Oh, God.
All right, we got two tight ends, two wide. Oh, here we are. We're right back. Thank God he's got a towel covering that butthole up.
Oh, man.
Switching the play. Colin always forgets how many cameras are in the camera view. Oh, my goodness. See that? Another play. Oh no! You can't take the timeout. Oh, he took the timeout. It's a tough time to burn the timeout there, but I hate those plays where you're sacked before you even get out of the animation. There's nothing you can do about it. Bronco Man said in chat, maybe Colin had never seen it before.
We know a double pass did used to, it seemed like it was kind of a 50-50 play. I've seen quite a few picks thrown to start the cycle with that play. It seems like it's gotten a lot more successful as the cycle's went along.
Not no more. I like the tight end in this play. I can't use my pointer because I'll get in trouble. Ooh, I got R1 too. Oh no, he's going to come back to more. I liked R1 in that play too.
I have to point out though, like, was that the tight end that threw that, or was that the running back that threw that on that?
This tight end. Well, I only know because we've seen it twice because he took a delay of game. I think that's the part. It's like I can sit here and complain about it, but like you've seen it twice, Colin, like twice, and you still weren't ready.
Well, if you're calling that scenario right there where he took that timeout after Colin is notorious after a bad play of accidentally hitting that no huddle offense. If you just go ahead, and I know it's a big game, but if you go ahead, is it more important just take that 5-yard penalty to save that timeout?
Or just snap it, be done with it, kick your field goal like you ended up doing anyway, and have that timeout in your pocket, man. Those things are worth
huge
gold.
at the end.
I mean, you could take a minute drive at the end of the game needing to score and have an eternity to go make that drive with 3 timeouts. 2
That's
timeouts? And you start getting in that funky, weird territory, you know?
Yeah, look, like you said, you're kind of tied in with that one. You need 1 timeout at the end, especially down by a field goal. It's really nice having those 3 timeouts. And like I said, Colin's notorious for that no huddle right there, especially when he gets frustrated.
It's one thing that Madden still does that I enjoy is that you can still call that spike pretty quickly and easily. I lost against a game the other day against Bird just because, like, you got to press 8 buttons to freaking call a spike. So at least you still have a quick spike, but, man, you still need that time out there at the very end. We got a tight game here. At what point do you start really tightening up and you don't want to make the mistake? You're 17-13. You got a little over 4 minutes left to go here in the third quarter. Do you think we'll see any one of these guys starting like getting real tight on the play call?
Well, I think this is one of.
Go ahead. You win.
No. Just I'll keep it short. I think if Baltimore goes in and gets a touchdown here, I think it's dangerous territory for Colin because I think I can see Colin leaning towards that heavy pass game.
I was going to say, I think if it gets to a 2-score game, not that Colin's out of it, but I think that's where he's got to be really careful because if he throws a pick or anything, then it is a ball game. I think 2 scores, or if it gets into the fourth quarter, 6 minute, under 7 minute mark, I'll just say, I think that's where things kind of really are going to get tight. If it stays within a 1-score game, then it can go either way. But yeah, like as we're getting close to the fourth, 2 scores or under that like 6-7 minute mark, that's where things are going to like really make a difference.
I don't know that I've had a player of the game really step out in my head. I think maybe one of these quarterbacks, if I was kind of forced to pick one, maybe Swift, but Chicago would need to win this game for that to be a thing. So remember, keep an eye out for player of the game. He's going to have a guy wide open here, and he's going to run it. We're going to have to pick that at the touchdown
pass.
He had on that play again. I know you guys are a little bit behind because you're watching the stream, but on that pass there, that he had a guy coming on that drag wide open, decided just to eat it, and now he's got a 3rd and 2 here.
He did. I kind of wonder there if it's one of those ones where he's ran out of the pocket and he's thrown out of the pocket and he's like, I honestly felt his torn there on should I pass it or should I pass it?
Playing tight. I just asked who starts to tighten up a little bit. Maybe that was one of those tight plays that we don't see him make if this is week 14 or whatever.
Oh no!
Big first down right there for Baltimore. Yeah, I seen the little hiccup. I was like, please don't DC. We have seen that way too many times. There is always the year that I made an eternal enemy, and probably why he left this place and Clive Vertigo, I think that was his name, when I accidentally simmed his bowl game.
That was rough.
It was a tough one. It was an accident, but it is what it is.
Was that him and Mo?
I don't even remember who it was. I remember it was Clyde. I just don't remember who it was against.
Because you remember Mo's teams, that actually might have worked in Clyde's favor a little bit, but the super teams that Mo had. But yeah, I can understand that. But I do remember the gut wrench message you sent. Did I really do that?
It sucked. It's still to this day, if you go looking to sim to get to the Super Bowl, it can confuse you pretty easily.
Oh, and, yeah, it can.
That was the first time we had the new UI, and it confused me, and I clicked the wrong button.
Yeah, there's always that sense of like your heart kind of drops into your stomach.
Still to this day, when I sim the week, even when like all the national championship, listen to me, the NFC, AFC conference championships were done, there's still like panic until the next menu pops up that I hit the wrong button. Like I panic every time. It is the worst thing to have me advance the league because I am very stressed for about 5 minutes. And there was one time I did it and it, ooh, good play. It just took a long time for the next sort of week to pop up. It was like in that sim mode for a long, and I was like, oh no, did I just sim the whole season? Me too, Denver. I don't know why, but it just causes me a lot of anxiety that I've hit the wrong button. Boys, we got Baltimore making a hell of a drive here. I don't think he wins the game, but he sure can make this one a pretty difficult comeback.
Yeah, plus he's eating the clock too, so that's...
He is.
This is safe to say. This is one of the most, I think in a good way, but boring OMFL Bowls we've had in quite some time. Outside of a double pass, we've had fairly clean FPR. I'd say the Bears are hanging a little heavy on the zone. I'm not tracking it, but it feels... My gut's telling me that, it might be cheese laced, may not be full blown cheese, but it's artificial, there's some taste of cheese in there. But it's been a clean bowl game, low scoring, a little boring. It's been kind of fun to watch this one.
I will say, and I'm not trying to make any kind of excuse for him or whatever. In your mind, in this situation, because especially when he starts scrambling a lot, he's been kind of scrambling around quite a bit. You start thinking like, oh, I need a spy. I need something with either a spy or a zone that's close to the line, because it's just you go in man and there's nobody around. He's gone, and he's so fast. I mean, he's guaranteed at least 5-6 yards if he does take off and run.
We do have a switch, but against Jackson, I don't know how useful that switch will be. Ooh, that could have been a big play. He had him wide open. They miss it, and they're going to settle for a field goal. So a good big stand. I don't know if those two words are supposed to go together in the English language, but they're going together tonight. A good big stand from Chicago.
That's a win.
That's for sure. He needed that. Keep it a one-possession game, going to the fourth.
He's going to lose. I don't know. That's one of his big-time right ends. He's going to be out for the rest of this game. That might hurt him a little bit. Got a lot of football left, too. This game is not only sleepy and cheese-laden, but it's taking forever.
Oh,
I'm just kidding, too, because you guys will go back and watch my games. That's another rant that Nate's going to go on this business season about people go back and watch my games and pick apart my words when I'm trying to be funny. I'm just being funny, guys. Lighten up a little bit, okay? Well, my grandma watched, and she said that you said this thing with this one tone. And I'm like, hey, screw you and your grandma, okay? I'm just trying to have some fun. 3-win team every season.
While we're watching the Up the Anus camera, right?
I got to find something to keep myself entertaining. I'm winning 3 games out here, boys.
My grandma said, "What's the Up the Anus?"
Trust me, your grandma knows.
Oh, it says he's craving cheese now. Oh, Timmy.
Oh, Timmy cracks me up. I love how Colin always forgets how many cameras there is. He's going to screw up one day and run it from that sideline camera.
Oh, I've actually done that before. That's the reason why I stopped switching the camera back and forth. Because that was not fun.
I think it's my old age. I've gotten so lazy. I just don't want to put in the 3-click work to change the camera. I'm just like, how lazy have I gotten that I just don't want to click a camera twice? I don't know how he runs out of these cameras, though. It's craziness for me. But it explains how he slivers past you sometimes. Swift, 9 rushes, 57 yards. Dwayne, again, you are one of the best, if arguably the best runner that this league has ever seen in its history. How do you not keep feeding a guy that's got 9 for 57?
Well, I don't want to. That's for Colin. I feel like that is feeding. He's never going to lead the league here in rush attempts, and like I said, I think we said before, I've seen him up 20 points in the fourth quarter, and he could not make himself run the ball. So I'm proud to see 9. Now I would love to see him keep running the ball, but he has shown that he's at least is open to the idea of running the ball, and so I'm going to take little steps with Colin. He's at least showing me a sliver of hope that he'll run it.
Ooh, he's got him. He tricked Nips in rolling back inside. That fullback came wide open. That's a good call there. I see now about the previous play art. You're right. It is not
so
even
random.
remotely correct on that play, at least. Maybe I got to stop recording what people run because it may not be 100% correct. Geez, I'm about to take back every FPR violation we've ever given now. I will say, you know what? I say this with all love and respect in my heart, Colin. You kind of deserve to get the double pass ran on you with all those running back wheel routes you used to run last Madden cycle. It comes around. You reap what you sow, the Bible say.
And the Lord said, does the double pass fall under the, I always used to call it the pepper explosion, because the fake fullback, halfback toss.
Oh, yeah. I think it falls under the wheel route from last cycle, where that running back wheel route was just like money. I think it's the same type of stuff.
There was nothing I enjoyed more than running that against Pepper, because I just knew he was going to implode and engage me the next drive.
Pepper would implode on you from time to time.
And your kicker was going to feel the wrath.
Oh, he was done for.
Your kicker is going to need double knee replacements, 100%. And then he would always say, I don't understand why that bothers people so much. I'm like, I'm not even going to begin explaining this to you, sir. And see, this is what I'm talking about, D-Wayne. He sounds so nice and southern, little farm guy. He's got this pretty wife and little mini cows and just the nice. This guy will kill your grandma. Like, he's a murderer on Madden. He doesn't care. He wants to eat your soul. Oh, man, that's a terrible play right there. Nips suckered him into that, and Colin made up his mind.
So at this point, Wooten's got 2 interceptions. He has to be kind of your leading candidate right now.
And it sucks that we can't see what that play was supposed to be. Maybe some of you were paying more attention, as I was talking about D-Wayne trying to eat people's soul, which makes losing to him by 45. I hate this guy right now, because I know he just wants to keep piling on right now. He doesn't even care. Anyway, I wish we could see what that play was like. Was Nips roaming a little bit, which he can, right? He can make a play, but just sucks that Colin kind of made up his mind that's what he was going to do there.
Well, I think that kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier. You get inside that red zone, and you just want to get it so bad.
Oh,
you throw a pass like that.
You guys are a little behind, so you'll see. Oh, no. He got hit for roughing the passer. That ball's going to come out and give him some breathing room. That's tough.
I can only imagine what Colin's going through over there right now, because I've seen Colin get pretty wired up before, too.
Yeah. Kurt, what are you thinking here? What are you thinking on defense? He's freaking! Oh, no!
I was thinking that, but the guy to catch it, that's what I was thinking.
Oh, I just hit the wrong button there, but I would be... I'd be fuming. I'd be fuming.
If it's that linebacker falling in coverage, he probably picks that. But it's being the defensive end that drops in coverage, man, that's tough.
Yeah. I didn't get to this point. It's you. I mean, we all know what happens is you start dialing up the blitz. You start trying to force stuff to kind of put pressure on people, and you got to be careful, though, because like a blitz either can be a big play for your team or it can turn into a big play for somebody else. And then it's kind of a double-edged sword when you got a guy like you.
He ran another double pass, that cheesy MFer. I can't believe this guy's over here milking cows and creating his own cheese, and he got picked.
Colin played it. Colin dropped back and covered that deep pass, and it kind of baited him into it.
He absolutely did.
Made him think twice. No, see, that was wasn't that a running back that was throwing?
That was a different double pass, but still a double pass. You got to have cojones to run 2 double passes in a game.
I don't think I've ran anybody besides the quarterback. Yeah, maybe one.
I haven't ran that play once this season.
Oh my gosh, Nips is one of a kind, y'all. Oh no, this is not what I want to see. I don't want to see Colin in 5 wide, but he's doing it.
He's
got him! Touchdown!
Oh wow,
that's ballsy, y'all. We got a ball game.
That's crazy. He was covered and throws to the outside shoulder there.
Wow, what a throw!
All this cheese has got my stomach bubbling, but my blood pressure's up because we got a hell of a ball game. And what more can we ask for? All you guys who hate all Madden, I get it. But look, this is great case in point of a competitive game. Good for the Chicago Bears. Good for the Ravens. You're ballsy, Nips. If you go back and watch this, you're ballsy. 2 double passes in a game. But we got a ball game going here with a little under 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
We may have
What's crazy about that one is him attacking that user cornerback too. The guy who's picked him off twice already this game and just went right at him.
That's like, I think Colin is one of the best about it. Just short-term memory loss. You know, like you throw the pick, you forget it, put it away, and move on to the next play. Like, and that's where he just keeps airing it out.
That's right.
You know, and when you play that style, right. When you play that style, you have to have that mentality, because if you start like second guessing, if he doesn't throw that ball when he does, anticipating that little break, he's not open.
I'm pretty sure he's taken 3 or 4 smoke breaks this thing. This isn't the kind of games that will cause you to go and take a quick smoke break. But you are right. Colin is a pretty low-key guy. I have fallen asleep once or twice during interviews with him, but that plays in. Oh, another pick. Johnson's going to undercut that ball, and Chicago is back in business, boys.
The Bears are reeling. They're excited. He's got confidence. And I think it plays into what Hurt was just talking about, him having short-term memory loss. But it's the scariest thing playing Colin, because even when he's ahead, you think, okay, he's going to run the ball and chew the clock. No, he'll still pass on you, and he's just so deadly. He wants to put the knife in you, and this is his chance right now to put his knife in that Ravens team.
Fire up Menthol. Chicago is going to have this ball back with plenty of time to take a lead. 4 turnovers for the Ravens. I apologize, Big Hurt. Finish that thought.
No, you're fine. I just want to point one thing out. You said, when does it get tight? And I said, probably right around that 7 minute, just under 7 minute mark. We're at 6:40 and we're seeing some big plays.
I do worry about it. I know we're behind.
You are a little behind, but finish that thought.
No, I know we're a little behind, but I've seen him run with Williams again, and it's just so scary anytime that quarterback gets hit and he's not sliding.
I agree, especially when you accidentally hit the dive button because you forgot it's supposed to be a tap to slide. We are tighter than 72 versions for those people that get those after they make it to heaven, but we're coming down to a good ball game, 2nd and 6 from the 38. Chicago's got it, and this seems like a good time to get this run game instead. My goodness, Trailer refusing to go down.
Big man.
When I played Chicago twice, that man was so hard to bring down, and I think he's almost better and more efficient than Swift. He just doesn't have, I think it's like 93 speed, but only like 88 or 89 acceleration. But he's just so physical, and when he does get in space, he has some speed. Whereas Swift is a little more all around, but it's a good complimentary back for Swift for sure.
I have been on the emotional roller coaster in this game. Every time I think the Ravens have a death grip on this game, within 3 minutes, it's the other way around. This has been a really good, fun, competitive game. I know we've joked and kind of played around with the cheese. Guys, if you go back and watch this, you're okay. You're in the ball game. Suck it up. We're just having fun here, okay? But this has been a good, fun game, and I appreciate you three making time to come call it with me.
Yeah, Nate's went after a lot of grandmas tonight.
Just one.
Yeah, my grandma's hurting.
Trailer once again, another big first down. He's going to be inside the 20 here. If you're Colin and I'm helping him call the plays here, I'm calling run plays until they get stopped. I'm just not letting Williams make a mistake.
I do miss the days of Madden, giving those like statistical displays as a guy runs the ball and pops up or passes.
Yeah,
I would love for him to bring that back in the display.
I also really miss, and I was probably the only idiot that used it, but they used to have something called Coach's Glass, and if you ran like an iPad or an iPhone or something at the same time as you had Madden loaded up, it would give you full display of the percentage of plays they've called, what they've ran on third down. Like, it gave you a full, like, coach's breakdown. It was freaking awesome. And they took that away back in, I don't know, 5 Madden cycles ago now. But I wish they'd bring that back.
Bears offensive line is letting it be known who's king right now.
And to Hurt's point, he's feeding Trailer.
Trailer
What's scary about this Bears
too.
This Bears team, what's scary about them is I know for a fact he's bringing most of these guys back. This team is kind of built to play through the cycle.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure number 55 for the Ravens has dislocated his arm. It was stuck in someone's face mask, and I hope they got a doctor out there to pop that thing back in.
Well, and this is a 2-for-1 right here for Colin. He is chewing that clock. 3.5 minutes left. He's first and goal. This thing could get down to the he's passing.
He's taking the sack there. He wanted to throw it to Swift, and Swift was open. He should have dumped that one.
He was. That's not the worst thing that could have happened in that situation. He's going to chew the clock. This will get down to 2-minute warning. He's going to put a lot of pressure here, especially if you get a touchdown. But even with the field goal, the pressure is going to be on Nipples here to have to drive the field. I don't want to speak too soon and jinx him.
If you're on defense, if you're Nipples, you're the Ravens right now, are you sort of allowing yourself to quickly give up a score? Like, he's sitting here manning up, but the only thing that's hurting is him, because it is clicking this now. If he holds to a field goal, sure, he's got plenty of time, but like, I'm considering like maybe letting him score so I can go down and score myself.
Well, I'm selling out, trying to create a turnover, and if I give up the touchdown, I'll at least leave myself some time.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, no, I think Hurt is kind of exactly what I want to do, except not the opposite. I'm trying to make him pass. I'm loading that box up. I want him to pass. He's either going to score, throw a pick, or stop the clock.
That's a good point.
That play too that he got sacked on, I have to say that's a smart play, because in the same exact play,
he's got a Dunze here.
Thrown a backwards pass, ended up being a fumble.
That's a touchdown.
Wow. That's huge.
He had Ndunze as well. It ends up coming back to Komet, and Chicago is going to take a lead. Plenty of time, though, for if you're Baltimore. You get all 3 timeouts, 2-minute warning. You got plenty of time.
But it's just so crazy how fast this game has turned.
Yeah, I guess technically the 2-minute warning you might not get it because it might be on the kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, I don't know that Coach's Glass would have helped you with FPR, because we didn't have FPR back then. We had rules, but I don't even know if you were still here with Coach's Glass. Were you, Tim? Was it that long ago?
Yes.
Or Tim's been around a while. Kevin says, watch for the double pass. If this dude runs a third double pass, I might send him a trophy just for the hell of it, win or lose. I'd just be like, you know what? You've earned the big ball trophy. Congratulations.
For sure, the big nipple one.
I was gonna send him like, you know how the guys drive around and have like a ball sack hanging from a truck. Just send him a trophy with 2 ball sack.
A large areola. All right, Ravens coming out 3 wide. He's got the receivers. He's got the quarterback. He's got all the weapons to do this. Chicago missing that starting defensive end. That might hurt them a little bit. We'll see what happens. Let's have some fun calling these last 2 minutes. Oh, I was about to say, how the hell did he catch that?
Well, at what point do you guys kind of feel the pressure to kind of break out of your like normal play calling, I guess you say like routine? At what point on this 2-minute drive do y'all kind of get in a hurry up?
I think for me, it's like a rhythm and flow. Like how's my rhythm and flow going, and have I been stopping him on defense? It sort of just depends.
So I think with 3 timeouts, I'd say, I mean, we're like kind of at the minute mark would be kind of where I have to like.
Pause. We have a pass interference called in this ball game. Good job, Madden. We appreciate you. We see you. Thank you. MVP is going to be Madden tonight, y'all. We got a defensive pass interference there.
Was an illegal contact, but
wow, close enough. Baby steps.
And he bumped him within the 5 yards, so it was bogus.
He was in his back. He was mugging him. He was trying to have a baby.
Yeah, Nate doesn't even get to enjoy it.
A little check down from Mitchell there. I interrupted you, Big Hurt. I'm sorry. I was very excited to see a penalty called.
Your moments of anticipation and excitement.
I think also I struggle on defense because, and you know, not like I'm letting some big cat out of the bag out of a 3-win team, but I struggle on defense when I know guys are attacking me for that last 2-minute drive of, you know, some guys are going to attack the outside. Some guys are going to attack the middle. Some guys are going to check it down to the running back. And it can be really, there is no one sort of way to attack. For me, I'm attacking middle because I feel like most of the time guys are going to leave that middle open. And so I'm looking to attack in the middle.
Well, from Colin's perspective here, how do you guard this? You don't want to be too conservative, but you also, you know, you don't want to give up the one home run play, I guess. I wonder what do y'all think about the Bears calling defense again? I mean, do you just kind of ride in the middle of being aggressive and also, hey, let him take 5 yards or let him take 20 seconds off the clock?
He got him.
Hey.
We got a pick. That's a pick 6, and I think we've got ball game. Belton jumped the route. You talked about it, Dwayne. Big Hurt talked about I'm trying to make mistakes. Maniacs, I'm trying to make. That's exactly what happened here. Colin attacks. Big mistake from Nipples. And we are going to crown a champion here.
And just the gauntlet that he's went through.
I was gonna say I'll say this. I mean, when I had my success this season and I lost 2 games really in my stretch, and it was to the Bears, and I was like coming out of those games, I was like, man, I couldn't do nothing. I lost. I think it was like I have to go back and look at it to be exact, but I was like looking at the games and I'm just like, man, his offense was so potent, but his defense was just like it was so tough and it was so hard to do anything. And then kind of like watching, I think I watched your game against Nipple, and it was like I felt exactly what you were going through because that's what it was like for me against the Bears twice. And so with those two things,
I apologize, but Nips is taking a knee. I don't love that. Nips waving the white flag here, which is a little disappointing to see. I know this game's over, but you want to see teams fight all the way to the very end when you're talking about the bowl game. Like, this is the championship, Nips. I'm sorry, you can't take a knee here.
He may have Nips lined up for after party or something, so he's just getting ready. Oh,
he had one hell of a bet on the over/under.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in that. Yeah, Nips, I love him. He can be a bit of a sore loser. We've had this. Me and him have had those conversations before, but that's a little disappointing. It's a bowl game. I want to see you. I want to see you keep fighting to the very end.
It is tough. I think Bronco Man said in the chat he's 0-4 now, and I'm assuming, I don't know specifically, but man, that's tough to get this far, and you work all season. And kind of like you said, it's super tough.
Yeah, it's a tough play right there at the very end. You thought you made the right read.
That's such that's such a breaker. You're pushing down the field, and to have the guy jump that route like that, you talk about a punch. That's just a punch. It hurts.
I don't know who my MVP is going to be. So you three are going to have to help me pick an MVP here. Of course, can't really see stats in real time, but who we got for MVP?
I'll cheat on y'all. Go ahead, Hart. Go ahead.
I was to say, I think for me, leading up until things, I would have to say it was the tandem of the running backs for me. But with the final play to seal it, just the pressure, Belton with the pick six to kind of seal it, it's hard to go away from that. But I think, I don't know, for me, if I'm going to pick one, I'm going to lean just because it's more than just one play. He had the 7-point lead there. I think it's the tandem of the running backs. Those two guys just really, as I said pregame for me, Colin couldn't win this game just airing it out 35 times, 40 times. He has to have some type of running game, and he did.
Jackson only had 104 passing yards, 54.5% completion percentage. I did not realize that as we played this game.
29.3 rating. Yay.
Yeah, Nate, I think that's really tough to pick who you'd want to be the MVP in this one, because I think you couldn't go wrong with what Hurt said. And honestly, it's I know that's not who's going to get the XP points, but I think you kind of got to give the MVP to the coach himself for kind of sticking to the game plan, and he never got away from running the ball. And that plays right into what Hurt just said with those two running backs. Man, he's got a two-headed monster with those two guys. And I just think you got to give a lot of credit to both these coaches. But as the MVP, and he won't get an XP point, I don't know how that would work. But I'm going to give it to Colin just for sticking to his game plan, because there was plenty of opportunities in this game for Colin just to say, screw it, and let me just air this out. The game's, it's not falling my way. Let me just start airing this ball out. And he never did. He stuck to his game plan. And you got to give him a lot of credit, because that just shows a lot of coaching maturity on Colin's part, because we know a few years ago, Colin, or even up till recently, Colin would have just went 5 wide and started airing it out.
Leave it to Dwayne to not help me at all and pick Colin.
I'm kind of leaning towards Caleb Williams. At one point in time in this game, he was 1 touchdown with 2 interceptions. And then he really came on late and just kind of solidified that offense for the Bears. He kind of put it in those key situations where he needed the score to take the lead. Wasn't like spectacular numbers, but again, we're talking about Colin. He's the one controlling the quarterback, every play and making those decisions. And it wasn't the most sexiest game we've seen from him, but again, like Hurt is talking about, he ride and die with the passing attack that he's built with that team. And he's still come out with a really solid game, even though he started out, the very, very, very first pass was nearly a pick six, which caused points to go in favor of the Ravens. And then, again, he got the touchdown, but then he also threw another pick. But those 2 later touchdowns that he threw just, to me, speaks of like how poised he was as being in control of the quarterback, knowing what he can do with the quarterback. And he executed and got him in a position to win the game.
Caleb Williams, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 197 yards, 3 sacks, 61% completion percentage. Jackson, 104 yards, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 1 sack, 54% completion percentage. Go and look at these 2 running backs. Swift, 11 for 65. Trailer, 10 for 62. On the other side, Mitchell, only 11 for 30. So really didn't seem that amazing of a defensive stand, but it really was from the Chicago Bears. Odunze, 3 receptions, 99 yards, 2 touchdowns. A long of 63 was the big one off to the left side. That might be player of the game material right there. But let's look at the defense really quick. Looks like Chad Wooten led the game in tackles with 8, Hamilton with 8, and Durham with 7. Smith also had 7. Wooten had 2 tackles for loss. Simpson, 2 tackles for loss. Sacks, I'm not even going to try that name. Osgood had 1. Herring, Wooten had half of a sack. Then your interceptions came from 2 from Jalen Johnson and 1 from Belton, which was the pick 6. And so I think we're really down to, I don't know, I guess technically 4 guys. You got Johnson that had the 2 interceptions, so 2 tackles, 2 interceptions. Belton had the pick 6 to win the game, or actually just sealed the game. You do have Williams, who, okay stats, 3 touchdowns, 197 yards passing, and then Odunze, 3 receptions, 99 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I think Odunze is going to be my guy with 3 receptions, 2 of them for touchdowns, and along with 63. Big-time game from him.
Mm-hmm.
One thing I will say with the Roma Dunes is I think both times he had a touchdown, it was in really pivotal moments, because the one was the pick that was almost a pick 6. The next drive, he bounces back and throws probably like 65, I'm going to guess roughly 65, 70 yards. Touchdown to put Colin back in the game, kind of let Colin ease back into things and not be stressed out. And then the second touchdown it was really in a pivotal moment where that second touchdown was huge for him, and he was really covered, and Caleb threw it to the outside right on the break for the second touchdown to give kind of the breaking momentum there for Colin. So I agree there. One other thing that I would like to point out is the Bears offensive line. I know Maniac mentioned that a couple times. Just like for being such a pass-heavy team, they really blocked pretty well run game-wise. And I think Nipple's defense is really good, and to see some of the holes and the success that he had running the ball, Colin did, I think you got to credit the Bears line. Not maybe in the pass because 3 sacked, but more in the run game.
Maniac and Wayne, if you have any final thoughts before you do, Fleury, I can never tell what Fleury's serious or joking, or I don't know. I take everything Fleury says very seriously. It does bring up a good point, because everybody kind of views MVP differently. Do you feel like the MVP has to come from the winning team? Because I kind of do. If they're the most valuable player of the game, they sort of have to win the game.
I think if they're not on the winning team, which I think has only happened, I can't speak for NFL, like NBA, it was once, it would have to be an extreme effort on one side. I mean, like stupid, not unquestionable, and I just don't think you have that in this game particularly.
I mean,
Wooden
played good, but not amazing.
Right.
The only one that happened in the NFL was Harvey Martin, I think, with the Cowboys when they played the Colts. That was like
How
a
did
long
I know
time
my
ago.
guy was going to have some kind of... I never even heard this name before in my life. My guy is such a Dallas fan. He had it. It was in his pocket. He was ready to use that one.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never heard of that dude.
It had to have been a long time ago, right, man?
Let me call my great-grandfather and ask him about it.
That's the reason. That's the reason why I got the gray hair and you guys don't. So,
Not me. Mine is plenty gray.
Silver Fox.
Hair's got that. Hertz got that gray beard going.
Yep, but Grandpa Maniac over here can pull out the stats.
All right, so we got 1 vote for Williams. Now, I know Dwayne tried to weasel his way out of picking one, but I'm going to force him one. I got 1 for Odunze, 1 for Williams. What say you, Maniac and Wayne?
Go ahead, Maniac.
I'm going with Williams. I really think that, like I said again, Dwayne was talking about Colin being the MVP, and he's the one controlling that. Yeah, I know Odunze got those 2 touchdowns, but it was the precise precision of those passes, when to throw them, that made the difference. And so that was Colin, that was Williams. And I think if he has, another quarterback that's, not there, I don't think he makes that type of throw. And so I think you have to go back to the quarterback there, because now if Odunze had like 6 or 7, 8 receptions in this game, I would probably be swinging to that. But it was just those 3 catches, and 2 of those were touchdowns. But those were just perfect passes by Williams there on those.
All right, so if Wayne ties this up, I'm gonna let chat decide, and if he breaks the tie, then we're going with what these 3 decided.
Okay, well, if that's the case, I think we need to let the chat decide, because I'll side with the Odunze on that one. And so we'll let the chat decide the MVP for the night.
All right, chat, in the chat, let me know. I've already see some Romes here, so let me know Rome Adunze or Mr. Caleb Williams as your MVP. Let's go ahead and see it, and we'll let the guys know. Let's get out of here. One final thought. I'm going to go a little round table here as we close things out and get over to re-signs. Congratulations to Colin and the Bears. I normally do invite the winners and the losers to come and do an interview, but something tells me neither one of those guys want to talk to us, and so we'll go ahead and avoid that. Mr. Big Hurt, give me one final thought. OMFL Bowl 113 is in the books.
Double pass for the loss. Avoid the play in season 114. I'm excited for the next season. Let's have fun, boys.
Very apropos. Mr. D. Wayne, one final thought.
I think this is a great game. I don't think we could ask for, a more OMFL game, crazy, good, and bad. And the Bears aren't going anywhere. And I'm sure he's excited to, defend his title.
Mr. Maniac, close it. Oh, so go ahead, Big Hurt.
On that note, I'm not looking forward to playing the Bears. But congrats, Colin. I'm not looking forward to playing your ass next year.
And congrats to Nipple for making it. Sorry, Hurt. I just want to let Nipples know congrats to the Nips.
Oh, absolutely. Congrats to both guys. But not looking forward to the Bears twice next year.
Right. Bronco Man says he can see Nips checking out for the rest of the cycle. That's very, very fair. Mr. Maniac, one final thought. What great insight we have from Maniac, who's muted and doesn't know that he's muted and thinks we're just ignoring him.
Just wait. 13 more minutes and he'll come around.
Well, I had the goat going crazy, so I had to pause and then end up not seeing it.
He means a real goat too, y'all. He's not talking about Michael Jordan. So
yeah. Yeah, I hate to see Nips taking the kneel there at the end, but like I said, I think he's already got the after party going, so it didn't matter whether he's going to win or lose. So
Nips is a different cat. You know what I'm saying?
I'm excited to see what's going on this next season. I may have to retry that double pass. Bring some cheese into my life. I don't know. I got a bunch of crackers. Maybe I need a little more cheese. I don't know, but I'm joking. So. But looking forward to the draft, and I probably won't get to make it, but I'm always excited about seeing what's going on with the draft.
You'll make it. You'll be late, but you'll make it. Tell Pastor to get that thing wrapped up. Let's go ahead and get people home, for the night. I need you guys, my final thought, I need you guys to bring the same energy to the draft, okay? The last couple of drafts have been boring. I'm not going to lie. I'm calling you out, OMFL. The chats have been dead. No one's wanting to interview. No one wants to co-host. I miss the days of like 2 shows going on and Big Hurt's competing with my show, and we got people going to that show for interviews and then coming out. Like, I miss that energy. I miss that good, everybody's engaged energy. So I need you to bring it. Guys, I gave you what you always ask for. This is the shortest possible offseason we could have. I'm going to be so stressed that day.
Bill is thrilled.
I am boiling crawfish that day. We're having people over for crawfish, and I'm kicking them out of my house quickly so I can get in here and do a draft. So, like, I'm sacrificing for you. Logan, you bring the baby all. I don't need that kind of energy in my life. I just need the chat plugged in. I need you guys engaged. Okay, make fast picks. Don't make me sit here for 6 hours, waiting for Maniac to show up and the long 18-hour draft. Let's get through this thing and let's have some fun. Fellas, I thank all 3 of you for doing this. Shout out to my wife who will never watch this or hear this. She was watching the grandbabies to let me go do this. She played nice. She was very understanding about the whole situation. So I appreciate her. Congratulations to Nipples on an amazing season. Congratulations to Colin on his first championship. Guys, enjoy the rest of your night. We'll see you on Sunday. I love you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of those around you, and we'll see you.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Smash that like and subscribe.